They're going to be headquartered here. Did I miss anything?
Pretty good summary. I think you hit all my talking points.
Where are they going to be? For John Hand?
John Hand. You saw that he completed the purchase of the building the other day, or got $10 million towards finalizing that.
Now, the public hearing is going to be for Thursday, am I correct?
Yeah.
Well, I'll move the item to the agenda.
Second.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Awesome. Thank you. Go ahead. Sorry we couldn't extend you here longer. Okay, at Corey Fain as well. Corey is Wish Landing and is their external affairs. Give me your official title.
I'm the Director of Economic Development and Community Engagement.
Community Engagement. Thank you. Good to have you here.
Do they want to say anything?
Thank you so much.
Do you want to say anything about Landing? Is that I missed? Or?
Yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were founded in 2019 by Bill Smith, and we offer an industry-first, all-inclusive, flexible living opportunity. So our members have access to studios, 1- and 2-bedroom apartments within our network, as well as a host of on-call and concierge services such as cleaning and pet services. So we really offer an all-inclusive, flexible living option. We were in 9 cities at the beginning of 2020, offering about 500 apartments. And by the end of the year, we were offering more than 10,000 apartments in over 80 cities. And our goal is to be in more than 100 cities by the end of this year. So we're growing rapidly. We saw 1,250% year-over-year growth in 2020 alone. So we're really excited about this opportunity to relocate our headquarters to downtown Birmingham and bring the company here to commit to that growth and those jobs.
So if this is something they can get by the week, by the month, or?
We offer stays for any duration, so you could stay for 2 nights or 2 years. It's up to you, and that's the purpose of your membership and what you're paying into.
So could we could we get some information from you in case Miss Knight puts me out for?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to let you know. You just let me know.
I have a question, Mr. President.
Too late.
They would.
It's not ever.
It's already passed.
Go right ahead.
Don't matter. I still have a question. Is this the representative from Land?
I'm their lawyer, Trey Bill Bradley, economic development lawyer.
Okay, very good. So, can you stand for me?
Sure, absolutely.
I have several questions,
Okay.
just so that I can make sure.
Do we all stand?
So,
Yeah, sure.
okay. So I want to be correct in my assessment. This is a 6-year agreement, and the incentives that the county has to provide is for 6 years. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I want to get and so forgive my tardiness, I want to get a clear understanding in terms of the amount I heard, I read, this company is to bring 816 jobs. I want to know how many of those jobs have already been filled based upon this company's, their current statute. So obviously to me, and that's why I want verification, in terms of how many jobs do they already have filled of this 816 jobs? So how many jobs are we actually bringing to the county?
Yeah, I'm going to ask Corey Fain to come up and help address your question, Commissioner. The project agreement counts a new job as any employee that is hired on or after December 4th of 2020. And December 4th sounds like a random date, but it's the date that the Secretary of Commerce, Greg Canfield, provided a commitment letter to the company as part of the state incentive package that is already executed. That project agreement was executed in December of last year. So at that time, there were about 50 baseline employees. And since that time, Corey can speak to where we are currently and where we expect to be by the end of this year.
So, just for understanding, is that 50 deducted from 816?
Yes.
And does the 816 include any existing employees before December 4th, 2020?
No.
No,
Okay, these are new jobs,
They are.
816 new jobs, right?
they are.
So you already have 50?
Those 50,
We had 50 as of December 4th, 2020. And as of today, do you have a,
I can get those
Estimate.
numbers for you once I meet with our recruiting team later today.
Okay. Let me also ask this of our county attorney. Do we have a provision in this contract where there is a higher local or Jefferson County residents that are involved with these jobs? So that's kind of open-ended?
But do they have to be Jefferson County residents in order to qualify for the,
No, they have to be here,
employed.
they have to be
You
located
employed
here.
in the
Have to
county.
receive the
That was
reference
correct.
to employees of here, but not residents.
No, I'm not. Well, I prefer to be residents. I mean, I'm very clear. Nobody has to speak for me. I'm very clear. I'd like to see if we're going to provide an incentive from the county, I'd like for it to be residents of the county that are your primary workforce. And so that's the reason why I'm asking you both as a point of clarification. Now, I'm going to vote the way I want to, but I'm just saying, just for understanding's sake, if we're going to provide the incentive, I would think that it should be beneficial to Jefferson County residents, okay? Let me also ask this, since our good lawyer has told me what I need to know. As relates to this company, would I be fair in my assessment in terms of, and this is only based on what I'm reading, so you can tell me more for yourself. The way that this will lay out is that, and it is not just for Birmingham, it's for all of the cities in Jefferson County, that this company would, I guess, assume or acquire properties and then make those properties like a turnkey style lease agreement for tech professionals. Is that what it is?
So let me clarify one point. There is actually a provision in the project agreement which obligates the company to use commercially reasonable efforts to hire Jefferson County residents. So there is a preference in the agreement itself. The agreement is limited
So
to
that's explicitly written somewhere?
It
Mr.
is.
County Attorney? Okay.
This agreement is limited to the expansion and relocation of their corporate headquarters here in downtown Birmingham. It doesn't speak to their service of providing the turnkey apartments in their markets. They do have a number of rental properties in Jefferson County, and if we don't know the specific number, that's information that we can provide you. But this project agreement is limited solely to the jobs at their headquarters, not at their apartments.
And so we have apartments in over 80 cities in the U.S. So our product is national, but we're currently headquartered in San Francisco, and we'd like to move our corporate headquarters to Birmingham, and that's what the 816 jobs are.
So, again, I want to make sure that I understand. This cannot just be Birmingham. This could be Vestavia, Hoover, and any of our other lovely cities in Jefferson County. Will this be a product that you all are offering outside of Birmingham that you can purchase, acquire the property, and use that property for the purpose in which this investment is intended to do?
I mean, not towards the 816 jobs. I mean, the headquarters is going to be in downtown.
You're talking
Birmingham.
about the actual product, their rental spaces, their apartments, their living spaces. So I think
Yeah.
the answer would be yes. They
We
would
have-
all nationwide.
And we have apartments in downtown Birmingham, across the city, Vestavia, Hoover. We really are spread widely across Jefferson
But
County.
it's not limited to that. Y'all can have them in Dallas, right?
We do.
Miami, Florida.
There'll be 100 markets by the end of the year.
No, I get it. I'm only interested in what Jefferson County is offering and how it impacts Jefferson County more specifically. So that's the reason why I'm asking. You saying apartments, does this, because it's supposed to be Airbnb is what you're going to turn it into, right?
So we're different than Airbnb because we don't target short-term vacation rentals. Airbnb, every Airbnb is unique to that homeowner or the property holder. They make the space they would like to have, and then they offer it typically to folks looking for short-term, weekend or week-long rentals. Our average member stays in each location for 3 to 6 months. And so we have quite a number of members who stay with us for a year or more.
Okay, is it just to apartments, or is residential properties a part of this product?
It's just apartments, and our members lease them.
Okay, but it's apartments only.
Studios, 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms at this time.
Mm-hmm. Are you looking to, over this 6-year period of time, to expand to residential property?
We're keeping all of our options on the table, but I can't say that's in our plans for the next 6 months.
Okay. That would be, I'm on in on the, because I do ask a lot of questions. I'm not just going to vote just because it's presented, right? Okay, so that being said, that's why I'm asking all the questions up front, so I can make an informed decision. And I hear 3 to 6 months, but if we're going to give an incentive, I would have thought that what we should be asking beyond jobs is what is your long-term plan, because you have a 6-year agreement of incentives from us. So we should have been asking for a 6-year plan in terms of what you're going to expand into, because you seem to be a very lucrative company. And so that's the reason why I'm asking as many questions as I do. Sometimes people think that we're just here as figureheads and not people who are wise enough to read and to get an understanding, and that we lack, we ask you. So if you seem to be frustrated, sorry. But I mean every word that I'm saying. I want to make sure that this is not left to even what I read. I want to know from you, your representative of the company, and I really wish that we had gotten at least some kind of 4 to 6 year type of strategy of what you plan to build this into. Okay?
I
All
can
right.
speak to that just a little bit if you...
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
So for expansion, again, we'll be in more than 100 markets by the end of the year, but as we acquire more customers, we will acquire more units in Birmingham and Jefferson County. So while we may not move into commercial properties, residential properties like single-family homes, we will continue to work with property managers here and acquire more apartments from them to expand our offerings in Jefferson County. But that is largely based on demand.
Okay. I'm just saying, as vice chair of this economic development part of the committee, I'd be interested in knowing in writing what is your 6-year long-term plans of what you all are looking to do. I think that would be appropriate based upon your ask. And so at some point, if you could provide it to the commission, I think that'd be great. Thank you.
All right, we've already
Great.
moved it
Thank
to
you
the
all.
agenda, so
Thank you all.
thank you very much. All right, next on information technology, the key government finance Microsoft Enterprise Agreement. This is a 3-year agreement that is just a continuation. This is for fiscal year 2022. The main reason for this, doing it now, is that our contract ends at the end of the month. And so with this renewal, we're also saving $100,000 each one of those years, consecutive years. So
What's the amount?
the overall amount, Shree, you
Shree's
still
at-
here?
Yeah, overall amount is
Oh.
$944,111.71.
Which is a savings of over the previous
A move it.
previous contract. Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And I have a community grant for the city of Leeds. They purchased some stuff for their senior center.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll go back to, in order. Commissioner Scales, are you ready?
Absolutely. We have a committee report for Public Works, Community Services, and Intergovernmental Relations. We have before us on today 5 items. So for number 1 is Cone Cranes, which is an amendment 1 to the agreement for crane inspection and maintenance. Number 2, Studio 2H Design LLC, which is an architectural design for improvement for Shades Valley and 5 Mile Creek, I'm sure. Heathcote and Davis, 2021. This is in regards to West Homewood Park. Coxdale Inc., Amendment 1, Sewer Utility Billing Solution and Implementation Services. Number 5 is Norfolk Southern, which is an Amendment 1 to the Parkway PS Crossing Permit. And I'm sure that this permit is an amendment to an agreement with Norfolk for the installation of a 16-foot sanitary sewer pipe, or is it 16-inch? Am I seeing it?
Maybe it's
Which one is it? 16-inch?
16 foot, be bigger.
Okay.
Had to go
I
with
asked you for this to add nothing, Commissioner. 16-inch sanitary sewer pipe within Norfolk Southern Railway Company right-of-way. And so do we have any questions in regards to items 1 through 5? Seeing that we have none, do we have a motion at this time?
Sir.
All right, the item has been moved and seconded. Items have been moved and seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
That's all we have for District 1. Thank you.
District 2, speaking of the sewer issue, Mr. Lewis has really had a very disastrous
They
issue
did.
with lead water overflows, so good that
There's a water, the water system has got the sewer stuff.
we're,
Okay. Good morning,
Commissioner
Commissioner.
Scott.
Good morning.
Community Development and Human Resource Services Committee. I have development, community service, and workforce development. We have Nigel Robinson here instead of Dr. Hamilton. Could you give us a report on items 1 through 13?
Good morning, yes. Again, Community Service and Workforce Development have 13 items on the agenda. The first item is Wallace State Community College, requesting authorization to execute the WIOA grant agreement for adult and dislocated workers for Jefferson County for eligible training providers with Wallace State Community College, Selma.
do they have a campus here?
No, this is,
Or do they, people have to go to Selma?
it happened to Selma. This is a regional program that reaches out as far as that area.
They are part of our region.
Item number 2, YWCA Interfaith Hospitality is a resolution authorizing the Commission President to execute a federal emergency solution grant agreement with the YWCA Central Alabama Interfaith Hospitality House for amount not to exceed $19,000 for the program year 2020. Item number 3 is a one-stop operator agreement. Again, this is a resolution authorizing the Commission President to sign and execute an agreement between Jefferson County and the Alabama Department of Labor for career services, center services for a period between a period of 7/1/21 and 6/30/2022.
I'm going to move all of these items to the agenda 1 through 13. I do have a question on 13, if I may.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
And that's, and what I'm trying to figure out is Interpoint and Tarrant or somebody like that eligible for something like this on the agreement for the street improvements.
Yes, sir. This is actually just the corporation agreement. The funds for this project has already been approved through CDBG funds.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been first and second on items 1 through 13. Can I get a vote?
So moved.
You got first and second.
Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We have nothing to stand before. Youth detention, I have 2 community grants.
Second.
Community grants, been first and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That's the end of my report.
Administrative and Infrastructure Committee, Roads and Transportation, we have two items that, like joint projects with the city of Hoover. One is the widening of South Shades Crest Road to 3 lanes. That's got about 13,000 cars a day on it now, doesn't it? It's big. And the extension of the Galleria Boulevard.
I'll move items 1 and 2.
Have a motion?
Second. Yeah.
Motion?
Can I
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I noticed when y'all, when they get, have road projects, y'all are way higher.
Whoever's on the thing is live, so please mute.
This,
Can we mute him? That's all I'm hearing. Well, happy birthday. Obviously, they were in the hall.
all right, we'll go ahead. These Hoover projects, I think that there aren't there, are these 50/50 projects?
Yeah, well, the South Shades Crest is a county road in Hoover. They're paying half, the county's paying half.
Right.
The Galleria Boulevard is federal funded,
It's federally
80%. We're paying 10%, Hoover's paying 10%.
So, that's,
Yeah, I
That's
was
the-
just making a statement that I know it's a shared project. I'm just, and I know the little towns that I have are small,
right.
but it's nowhere near compared to this amount of money. So I just can't wait till we start expanding roads within my district, but we can get some of the millions of dollars.
Me too.
We have another item that's a reimbursement agreement that needs to be added as new business. I'm going to ask for
Yes, please. It's.
I would like to add this to it. We all vote at one
Did we
time.
not vote on those two?
We have a motion and a second.
A motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Have one item of new business from Roads and Transportation, which is a change. I know I've got you over here too.
Do I don't have a copy of that. Is that something?
I don't either. This is one that's going to go for the record.
It's item 7440 in minute track. It's an update to the item that you had previously approved for Springdale Road Bridge. We got a revised estimate back from AlDOT, and in order to hold the letting, we're asking if we could please get that approved now so that we can make all those work. But it's the same agreement. The dollar amount had just changed. They had finalized an estimate. So this is the update to that agreement.
I move it for consideration of new business.
Consideration of new business has been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have one item of new business from Roads and Transportation.
Move it.
Be moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That's taken care of. Thank you very much. County Attorney, we have the minutes, and then you have one item of new business.
Question on the minutes. The minutes reports that Commissioner Tyson was absent on the last meeting, but I remember her being there on Zoom.
She was in commission. Was she there on committee?
Yes. Yeah, but I think it's
I
reported in the
emailed her.
Did it not
minutes.
reflect in the draft?
It's in, I think it's in
Did you check
the
on that?
commission, she was reported absent too.
Yeah, I emailed her and told her that I was there.
Did you check on mine?
Oh, you were absent.
You
That was
make
Thursday.
sure.
I was here Tuesday.
Well, I'm saying the commission.
Did you
meeting.
get everybody's right?
Yeah. We're fixing this thing.
I appreciate you, but I
I'm
had
not sure
already
it's that.
emailed her and corrected mine.
With those corrections, can the chair entertain a motion? Been moved, seconded, all in favor say aye. I have one item of new business from the county attorney's office. Resolution authorizing the commission to enter into an agreement settling a lawsuit with the city of Fultondale.
Hold the item.
Second.
Second.
All right, we have to new business first. With consideration of this item.
Move the item.
All right, one new item from the county attorney has been moved, seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Resolution?
Second.
Resolution moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Sheriff has two items on the agenda
Mr.
and
President.
one item of new business. Yes, ma'am.
Before you go to that, I'd be interested in knowing how moving forward in the absence of the county attorney, not county attorney, but county manager, how we will proceed as a commission in terms of our requests. But we had a young man who drowned in my district as a result of the rain water. And I am respectfully asking in this meeting for our deputy county manager to look into cleaning those drains that are off Highway 78 near Pebble Creek apartment complex. It is at North Pratt, and when it rained, it flooded in that area. As a result, it cost this young man his life. He was trying to help someone. So, Mr. President, if you can let us know how we need to proceed moving forward so that we can be respectful to the law in terms of these requests, I'd certainly appreciate it. But I wanted to make sure I did that in this meeting so that we can look at getting those drains cleaned out if it's sewer related.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Mr. President, I would like to make a clarification. It seems that I was incorrect on my statement that you weren't reflected as being there. Ms. Milliford has straightened me out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's what you get for talking to me.
Oh, about somebody talking to
Again, as we're moving forward, we have another item from the sheriff's department. Along with the two that they have, this is a grant on Project Safe Neighborhoods for $29,835. This is just allows the commission president to sign those documents. The grant is here in-house, and we can't expend it without commission approval.
Where's the grant from? DOJ?
DOJ.
Okay, so I move the item.
Second.
One item of new business.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Resolution.
Move it.
Second.
Resolution been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those two items that we voted on from the sheriff's department, along with this, they've all been covered. Thank you very
Mr.
much.
President,
Yes,
while we're
ma'am.
speaking of the sheriff's department, I'm understanding we're having a shortage of deputies. Is that correct? Have you been told of any such report?
I have been told that
Heard that.
that many deputies are retiring and moving on, and that there are not enough in the pipeline to continue hiring them at the current and needed level. Perhaps a representative from the sheriff's department can speak to that.
As far as personnel staffing level, I'm not authorized to, I don't have the knowledge to answer that question, but Chief David Agee would be able to address that.
Okay.
But I feel that we're short, yes.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your honesty.
Yes, ma'am.
And the reason being, Mr. President, is that there was something that I observed over the course of the weekend. I have asked respectfully for the sheriff to have a conversation with me, but I was told that the reason why certain things are not in place primarily is because of us being understaffed. And I thought that as supportive as we've been as a commission, I would have thought that that would have been something that we needed to know. Because if we're short, we need to do everything possible in order to correct that.
Well, they run commercials. They run advertising.
Well, and they're doing everything that, it's the current environment we're in right now.
They have
It's
billboards
difficult
up,
to recruit
and it's a big sign on the bus.
Any officer.
and, right.
That's not just our sheriff.
It's anywhere, that's nationwide. So, sheriffs are doing a good job. He's
No, that's
putting
not-
it out, he's putting that out, I'm doing a good job, doing a good job of advertising the positions. You see those there on billboards. He's making a concerted effort to recruit new deputies. And right now, I don't know how many are in the pipeline to get it done. I know that they've got a new group coming in, but we will certainly check and see, and I will check personally and report back. How about that?
Yeah, that's fine. I just didn't want to be cut off. I'm just saying that if they're short, I wouldn't have wanted to recognize that in the way in which it was, which is what alarmed me or alerted me to call the sheriff. So I'm not trying to say whether he's not doing a good job or not. I've been supporting everything that has come across his agenda for him, and even advocated for that department. But if we're short, and you have criminal activity, then obviously we need to get them some help, and that's not something that we should not know. So that's all that is, Mr. President. I appreciate it.
Okay. County manager, they have one item that's been removed from the agenda for consideration at a later date. District 3, we have one other business. We have radiology oncology accelerated research. That's the UAB that Mr. Patelis has benefited from. That it is a great fundraising project that affects many, many lives throughout Jefferson County. All of the commission has in the past added to this total, and we appreciate it if anyone feels that they will add to this. The doctors match this amount dollar for dollar. So whatever, if it's $1,000, the doctors will put $1,000, and it becomes $2,000 on behalf of research that stays in Birmingham.
Mr. President?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we about to both say the same thing, right? So, Mr. President, then I will add 1,000 to this item
Okay.
for this project.
I'll add 5,000.
I will add, but I can't tell you the amount, and I don't want to make a $1,000, okay. And I add $1,000.
Okay. I'm going to tell you, folks, I'm humbled, and I know that these people are going to really appreciate that. You just don't know how much that means to the cancer patients here in Jefferson County that benefit directly from this.
I have several patients. I have several of them in my district that we do care packages for every 2 weeks.
So
That's going through and fight against cancer now.
that is great. So that's $15,000. I'm getting 14.5. 14.5 for the total. Thank you so very much. Chair will entertain a motion. Move it. Second.
Hang on. Move mine to 3 and make it even.
3,000. Make it 15. Thank you.
Virginia back there.
That's great. God bless you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. I have one item of new business that perhaps you have heard about, and It's something that's been going on for quite a while right now. I know that our county attorney has been involved in it, and I think Commissioner Scales and Commissioner Tyson are aware of it also, is the ambulance problem that we have in Jefferson County. That ambulances are, sometimes there's 3 hours wait time to have an ambulance, and this is for a consultant. It would be utilizing our COVID funds to engage a consultant to try to solve this agreement, this problem that we have. I think that it's $127,400 for the engagement.
Is this using the APR money?
Yes.
Recovery?
Yes. One of the primary reasons that we're having this shortage is that these people are not in the pipeline, and this has been going on for quite some time. I know that Theo has been involved extensively with it. Would you like to speak on it, Theo?
It's kind of a threefold problem. One of the issues is, of course, during COVID, a lot of the schools that were traditionally able to turn out people with licensures have been able to do that because of the difficulties in getting recruits there. The second part of it is that the private ambulance companies are not able necessarily to meet the dollar amounts that are needed versus places like Amazon or other places. So we're losing a lot of people that are in the profession to going into other jobs because of the risk and those things associated with COVID under those circumstances. So between the pipeline, between the inability to meet those numbers, those ambulance companies are trying to make adjustments to meet those needs as well, and sometimes that causes the issue. The third part of it is that those folks that are getting the licensure are generally going to fire departments, not necessarily the private companies. So all of this has been a result of things that have happened due to COVID. So pipeline, inability to pay comparable wages because of loss of personnel.
And what we've done is the county is going to take this and will be reimbursed by participating municipalities related to what they do. And we'll talk about that. We're talking about Bessemer, Hoover, Brighton, Hueytown, Lipscomb, Fairfield. And it will include, but it's something that we're going to have to get on to pretty quickly, because each day we delay, there's lives at stake.
Are you talking about these? They're participating in the study
The study. As soon as we finish the study, it will have probably a short-term solution to get ambulances there as quickly as possible, right, and then a long-term solution which will include an education component, a public transport component. When I say that, I'm talking about for those fire departments that are able to transport will have the capability to do. It's going to, and really the education, it's going to require some legislation, because right now the same training that goes for a paramedic is the same as a nurse, and nurses make more money, so it makes it more difficult to hire paramedics.
I'll disagree with you there a little bit, but all
right,
but this study, is it going to be funded by these cities too, or are we just funding it?
No, they will participate in the funding. We're just going to be the backbone to make sure it gets done.
Yeah, and gets on the way. How long will this study be for? Do you know?
It's fairly short because of the time period we have. I think, Chris, how long did he say he's going to do?
I think it was 6 to 9 months. Total turnaround.
Yeah, we're going to have to do it quickly because the lives at stake.
Yeah, that was going to lead to my question, Mr. President, is since we know we have ambulatory needs right now, how soon do you think that once, or is there a provision or an amendment we need to make to this resolution to start providing some sort of ambulatory services like immediately? I know that the need is immediate.
We have really, we've talked, and I personally met with RPS and Shoals, and they have agreed to continue services while we do this negotiation.
Okay.
So we're good right now.
And I think the idea is that I don't think there's any intent of waiting on the entire package. As things come forward that the commission is able to assist on, it'll be brought to the body for consideration as a.
I'm interested to see what this consultant actually sees from a perspective there, or because I know there's some lucrative parts of this business and some non-lucrative. So I think this study really shines a light on it.
I mean,
Yeah, but I was just more interested in knowing, because I know that the need.
People are served.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing to check on.
Yeah.
move for unanimous consent.
Second.
All right, have a motion for unanimous consent. Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have that one resolution.
Move it.
Been
Second.
moved and seconded. All in favor say
Aye.
aye. Aye. Thank you very much. Last, we have Freshwater Land Trust presentation. Hey, how are y'all? Good to see you. You got some business today. All right.
That okay for us to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I brought some materials for all of you.
One more, we'll give you that.
Yes. And I'll leave these and y'all can share them with anyone else that you would like as well. Good morning and thank you. My name is Russia Smith and I'm the Executive Director of the Freshwater Land Trust. President Stevens and fellow commissioners, it is an honor to be here today. And we just thought it would be a great opportunity, thanks to Terry Reynolds, to give you an update on not only what we're doing, but what we're doing in each of your specific districts. So in your handout materials on the left-hand side, I have some general information about the Freshwater Land Trust that includes our annual report from last year, as well as some general information about our organization. On the right-hand side, you will have district-specific information in the 3 areas in which we work, and that is trail development in Jefferson County, specifically the Red Rock Trail System. You should see a map that identifies the trails in each of your respective districts. You will also see maps of each respective district of the property that we have conserved in each of your districts. And then finally, as part of our stewardship mission, we have engaged in a new project known as the Project Litter Getter, which is a trash device that is installed in small creeks to remove litter. And you'll see where those are currently located in each of your respective districts and where we propose to put them in your districts that are specifically in unincorporated Jefferson County. So again, our 3 areas of focus are trail development, land conservation, and then stewardship of the land that we protect. Obviously, without question, we function county-wide. Our footprint includes all of central Alabama, but again, we cover all of Jefferson County. I want to introduce my other staff members, some of my other staff members that are here with me today. Liz Sims, who's our Land Conservation Director, Carolyn Buck, who's our Red Rock Trail System Director, and Sally Sperling, who's our Communication and Outreach Coordinator, and she is managing our Project Litter Getter. If you will indulge me for just a moment, I'm going to talk generally about what we do, and then I'm going to let each of them highlight for you by district what there is going on in their area that we work in. I mentioned the Red Rock Trail System. For those of you that don't recall, this was developed with the Department of Health. In early 2010, there was a master plan that was developed after we met with 3,000 members of the community to come up with a trail system that would connect the entire county. The purpose of that was that ultimately, obviously, the county would be connected by trails, but every person would have a green space within a mile of their home. We presently have 120 miles of trail on the ground, and we are constantly working to expand the trail system. I would just mention that obviously, as a nonprofit organization, we are in the business of raising private funds for public infrastructure. So part of the reason I'm here today, in addition to updating you, is to say when you receive funds under the American Rescue Plan, and also when you look at your budget, I hope that you would consider our organization as a recipient of those funds, because again, we are raising funds to improve public infrastructure throughout the county. As far as conservation, we are approaching 8,000 acres that we have protected throughout central Alabama. Over 4,000 of those acres are in Jefferson County. And we have a number of stewardship projects that we are working on all the time, but specifically right now in Valley Creek, Village Creek, on the Cahaba. We obviously, as an organization, provide a buffer for a number of properties along both the Cahaba and Black Warrior rivers, and we do much of the work along the greenways that the county would otherwise have to do. And then finally, I mentioned the Project Litter Getter. I'll let Sally talk about that more specifically, but it's one of the ways we're working to improve water quality throughout our area. We did get a 3-year grant from the EPA for $500,000 that allowed us to put the 6 initial litter getters in the county. We now have 10 throughout the county. 2 of those have been funded by the Department of Health, 1 by the City of Homewood itself because they were so excited about the project, and then 1 is being funded through originally the National Coca-Cola Foundation and now through the local bottling company. So with that said, I'm going to... Yes, sir, Commissioner.
I do just have one question. You said that y'all were doing work that the county would have to do if y'all didn't do it. What does that mean by that?
Well, as you may recall, we were formed about 25 years ago as a result of the sewer litigation. And so as part of the consent decree in that sewer litigation, we have an obligation. We obviously had to purchase properties, but we have an obligation then to maintain those properties pursuant to the consent decree. So if there aren't any further questions for me, I'm going to let Carolyn Buck, our Trail System Director, tell you about some specific trails in each of your districts. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Carolyn Buck. I am the trail person in the county. Like Russia said, we have a master plan of 750 miles with the ultimate goal of connecting every resident in Jefferson County, not only to a green space, but also to alternative transportation options, just to make sure that our citizens are healthy, but we also are giving more equal opportunity for people to be able to get around the town. We have 120 miles on the ground out of 750, which means we've made a really good first step, but we got a lot of work ahead of us. And just to give a little bit of clarification on how we're building out this trail, we really look for opportunities throughout the county. Mostly it has to do with when land is available and landowners are willing to allow trails on their property. But once we get a piece of trail on the ground, we then look at ways that we connect. We can either extend it or connect and make networks off of that. So we're constantly branching off of our established one. So you'll see some areas we have a lot more trails, and that's because we were able to get that base trail and we were able to work from that. But we are constantly looking for landowners and funding to expand our trails. And so just to give a little bit of updates about what's happening in each of y'all's districts, Commissioner Scales, this is not in your district, but the Continental Gin Connector Trail and the Jones Valley Trail Extension trail that we are currently building and fundraising for. It's right outside of your district, but that is going to be our pathway to connect Woodlawn and Crestwood and ultimately Railroad Park to Ruffner Mountain. So our vision is to get Red Mountain Park, Railroad Park, Ruffner Mountain, and a corridor all through those communities. So we are currently building that right now, and we hope to have it completed by World Games.
Tell me the name of that once again.
It is the Jones Valley Trail Extension and the Continental Gin Connector. Okay. And so those are 2 big projects that we're hoping will help us get into Woodlawn and Crestwood. We already have some studies going on in those areas, so we will be ready to move. You also have a little bit of a high ore line, which is connecting West Birmingham to Red Mountain Park. It is my personal favorite trail, and we are looking at ways that we can actually branch off that. We've been working for several years on that, and we hope we're getting close. Commissioner Tyson, oh yeah.
Is, would that rail that's the one that's going through Midfield?
Yes.
How do we get benches out there, some benches?
So we actually donated 2 benches, I believe.
On the far end of Jefferson.
Yes.
What about on the end by the fire department when you come up midway?
So we have one that we just installed, and we just received a donation from UAB, and we're working to get those out.
You need another one, and I would like in my office to see how we can get another one.
Okay.
There, because you be about to fall out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. We do need some trails on that, and it is a very active trail, especially in the morning, but as we're heating up, we need places to sit. So we would love to have more benches on any of our trails.
Theo actually rides it on his bike, but he's a good rider because he rides all the way up to the other end of the mountain.
Oh, that hill. You've got some hamstrings.
That's what I said. He's a
good for you.
Really good biker.
Yeah.
In order to ride that.
That's impressive.
To be 8 miles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy.
Uphill?
Yeah.
Let me ask you
At least 3 uphill.
on that
Can't
note.
drive that long uphill.
Are we able to, and Theo, I guess this is a question for you, that we can be able to give of our community funds, especially when you're talking about Midfield, since that is in my area, in my commission district, if we can provide funds, to them for this specific purpose?
I think so.
To provide benches along the walking trail.
We would love that.
Because I was about to say, rather than you struggling with that, I think that that's just something that if we choose to do it, we can do it.
Yeah, you've got a lot of elderly folks who are using that, which
Absolutely.
they have mentioned several times.
And
Benches.
anything else along the walking trail that you perceive is meaningful in such a way that it encourages citizens to walk.
Yeah, I've got lots of ideas.
Yeah, so we can do that. Okay.
Yeah, I would love to
We'll
talk to
get
you.
with you.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Tyson, you are in kind of the urban core, so you've got a lot of stuff going on. The Jones Valley Trail, the Rotary Trail, the Jones Valley Trail, the Extension, Continental Gin will obviously be in your districts. I'm very excited. We are working with Urban Impact in Rev Birmingham. If you've heard of the Northwest Quadrant Plan, we have been a partner with them, and we are going to be implementing some feasibility studies for the Civil Rights District to connect 16th Street all the way to Smithfield. Got a lot of ideas, and we've been working closely with them to implement some of those plans that they came up with that we were part of, and so we hope to start that this summer, those feasibility plans. I'm very, as a Texas person, I think that when I moved to Birmingham, that's such a special spot, and so I'm really excited to get to work on that. Commissioner Stevens,
Will y'all put the historical markers out on that end?
So we will work with the Civil Rights Institute and some of the stakeholders to figure out exactly what would be the most meaningful and helpful for people who are coming into that district, so they'll be able to learn. We, as an environmental organization, we would probably not do that, but we would help support it and make sure that our designs incorporate those markers for sure.
Next year we want a water station down there.
That would be great.
We don't need no water. There'd be too many rabbits.
Now you're giving her ideas.
We can get some of the businesses to offer free water and get people to go in. Commissioner Stevens, we've got, you're right on the edge of 5 Mile Creek Greenway, the Rails to Trails at 16.5 miles. We are about to start working on the Brookside piece. We hope to be adding 1.5 miles the next 1.5 years, 2 years. You know, construction is the timelines are interesting. You also are a neighbor of the Highway Line and Red Mountain Park, and so your constituents are getting to benefit from those trails, even though it's not in your district. It's right on your border. And again, 5 Mile Creek Greenway is one of our major initiatives, so we continue to work on that. Commissioner Knight, you know you got 5 Mile. The 16.5 mile Rails to Trails, but also the city of Centerpoint and Tarrant that we're constantly working with to try to continue their part of that corridor. And we're also working with the city of Trussville to create a new park. There was a group of citizens who wanted to create more nature trails out there, and so I've been working with them extensively on how to get those out on the ground. I think it's going to be a really beautiful place.
What area?
I'm sorry?
What area?
It's on Highway 11. It's where the bats live. It's off of Pinchgut Creek.
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful area.
It is beautiful. Yeah, and I'm really excited about that. Let's see. And then Commissioner Ammons, you know, we got the Shades Creek Greenway that we're hoping to break ground any day. I'm hoping in the fall to extend that, the Jemison Trail, and obviously we're really excited about the property along the Cahaba that we'll be able to add some more nature trails, which I think will be a really great amenity for all community, all our residents. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Make a note for the record, that was Barnett's right.
I'm the short one
He
here.
used to be.
Liz
Needs
Sims,
to be.
and I'm just here to give a quick update on current holdings that the Freshwater Land Trust have in Jefferson County. I should say we hold property in fee, which is full ownership, and we also work with landowners who do conservation easements. But for Commissioner Scales, there should be a map in everyone. So the yellow highlights properties that Freshwater Land Trust currently conserves. Conservation property here, we focus on water quality. So for all property that is conserved, we're providing buffer and water quality assistance in addition to habitat improvement and ability to keep all our critters and wildlife happy and healthy. So in District 1, one of the highlights you can see is a beautiful tract near Colberg. It's 300 acres. It provides important water quality for 5 Mile Creek. We also have 30 acres along Village. And one of our highlights for our restoration work in District 1 was a partnership with the City of Birmingham, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, where we work to improve the endangered watercress darter habitat at Roebuck Springs. So just so you know, that was a great project that we did. District 2, Commissioner Tyson, we have about 200 acres. It's a more urban district, but it has really important water quality protection for Valley Creek. We have about 200 acres there spread out in Birmingham, Midfield, Brighton, and Bessemer. We also have a long-standing partnership with Faith Apostolic Church.
I was just going to say that, with the darter fish.
The darter fish. It's amazing to have endangered species within the heart of the city. It's really a testament to really what's really special here. So that partnership is great. We're working on more property conservation there.
Yeah, and they're keeping up their property quite well.
They are.
They'll be out there. And I want to let y'all know about a piece where those fish are over there by Wiggins Park. They actually jump up out the water.
I love it.
I have never. It scared me to death. I thought it was maybe a bat or something. Really,
it was the fish.
It was actually the fish.
Yeah, well, they're happy. Hopefully,
they got to be happy jumping up.
We're putting some piranha in there.
That's the reason they're jumping.
Commissioner Stevens, you've got some really large property holdings here. In 2014, we worked with the county on several flood buyout purchases. As a result of that, we have about 500 acres protected along Village Creek near Mulga, Shady Grove, Maytown, and another 90 acres on Valley Creek near Hueytown. And we have a very large holding protecting Shades Creek, which of course is really important to the Cahaba. It's about 1,100 acres there. Commissioner Knight, we have some highlights here. Also, the darters coming back up. We have 500 acres protecting the vermilion and rush darters, which are endangered species here in Turkey Creek. There's a big effort there to do additional restoration work. And we had a wonderful partnership with Kawaco, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services, and the Nature Conservancy. We worked to replace a culvert along Turkey Creek that allowed those fish to expand their habitat to additional acreage. And finally, Commissioner Ammons, you've got a lot of great public access sites here. This includes the Cahaba Riverwalk and Boat Launch at Grants Mill, Homewood Forest Preserve, and Wildwood Preserve off Lake Shore. So happy to answer any questions, and I'll turn it over to Sally.
Yeah, I need some more yellow in my.
Yeah.
You
have a lot.
I got a little bitty yellow dye, that's about it. We got a big district. I know, but I got a little bitty dye.
We share some right there.
Where?
Cahaba and Grant Smith.
Yeah.
Oh,
Next to
I didn't see
Highlands.
that little pencil thing line there.
Well, hello. My name is Sally Sperling, and I am the litter getter of the county. So I take care of our project litter getter at Freshwater Land Trust. This is a project we installed our first litter getter trash collection, device December 2019. Since then, it has grown to 10 litter getter devices throughout the county. Through that project, we have collected over 9,000 pounds of litter in about a year and a half. About 25% of that has been recycled. We work with a company called Osprey Initiative. They maintain the devices. They go out and check on them about once every couple of weeks. If there's any issues with the devices, if it's storming and it breaks, then they'll take care of it. So they've been a really great company to work with.
And they're located in the state, aren't they?
Yes, they're in Mobile. If you look in your packet, you have a couple different maps. One is existing litter getter sites by district. So as you can see, we have several litter getters throughout the county, all representing the different districts. There's none in District 3 at the moment, but we hope to change that. And then your second map is potential litter getter sites in unincorporated Jefferson County. And these locations are determined with our partnerships with Cahaba Riverkeeper and also Black Warrior Riverkeeper. And we work with stormwater departments in different cities and with the county as well. So we have good informed site potentials. Just to run through the potential sites, we have 3 in District 1, and those are located in 5 Mile. There's one on Lawson Road, one in Grayson Park, and then in Village Creek in the Docena area. We have one at the Bayview Lake area, and I'm not sure if that's in District 1 or 2. It's kind of on the line, so, sorry?
Bayview Lake would be 1 or 3.
Right, yeah. Yeah. So then in District 3, we've got 4 different proposed locations. So we really want to expand that since we don't have any in those districts at the moment. And then one additional one in District 5. So each litter getter costs about $25,000 a year, and that includes the installation, the maintenance, and everything involved in taking care of that litter getter device.
How is the one on Shades Creek doing? I've still seen a lot of tennis balls and basketballs, cups and all. I live on Shades Creek. Russia knows that we got a lot of Homewood stuff.
Right.
Comes down to visit. So, is there any provisions or plans to put another one, perhaps where Lake Shore and Shades intersect or something like that, to perhaps help get some of that litter off?
Yeah, we do have one at the Brookwood Mall. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yeah, well, that's the one that helps.
Right.
But there's a lot that happens south of that, and the Shades Creek actually goes in down. I'll give a name that everybody's familiar with, War Eagle Drive. That goes in and actually goes into Cahaba. Just south of that, and it's beautiful down there, and whatever we can stop.
Right. One of the proposed sites is off of Shannon-Oxmoor Road, so downstream a little bit.
Okay, downstream. That's what I'm talking about. That's great.
Yeah, and that's actually close to one of our properties that we conserve as well, so it would be easy access for us.
Do you have any above the Turkey Creek Preserve?
We don't yet. We've talked to Friends of Turkey Creek, and they're interested in pursuing that, but we haven't moved forward with that yet. But
Looked like it was modeled over Rapids.
Yeah, we have a lot more potential sites. that are located in municipalities. I just wanted to share with you all the ones in unincorporated Jefferson County today.
How much trash are you getting out of these? I mean,
9,000 pounds.
The total for a year and a half has been a little over 9,000 pounds. So it fluctuates with the seasons. When it's rainier, we'll get more
And
litter.
only 25% is recyclable?
Yes.
Wow.
And a
I
lot
would
of,
think it'd be more, because I think you'd get bottles and stuff and floaties and.
yeah, part of this project is collecting historic litter too. So litter that's been there for years and years and years. And a lot of that is not recyclable.
Historic litter?
Yeah.
Dinosaur?
Yeah, basically, yes. So, decade-old litter, several decades old, and that breaks down to the point where it's not recyclable.
I mean, is that just stuff that's been around for years?
Yeah.
Just now moving down the river?
Well, Osprey is really great. They, when they put a litter getter device in place, then they target the area above stream and downstream as well. And they try to collect all of the litter that has been there forever. The new litter that comes in through the waterways, they clean up the banks, and like at East Lake Park, they help clean up the park area. So they're good about that. Okay. Thank you.
And thank you all very much. If you have any questions, please let us know.
You do work with Red Mountain, right? That old mining trail?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And I would like the commission to really look at supporting that area up there off of East Scooter Road.
Well, I think we do that to a certain extent. That's what Peter also does.
It's beautiful.
Am I right?
Well, Red Mountain Park does operate independently from our organization,
Right.
but as Carolyn mentioned, what we're trying to do with the trail system is create a 22-mile loop around the city where you could get from Red Mountain Park to Railroad Park to Bruckner, and everyone could
It's
move
beautiful.
around that way. It is.
It really is.
We were involved in the initial acquisition of that property from U.S. Steel, so
Right.
we helped with the formation of Red Mountain Park as an organization, but it does act independently now. Separate from Freshwater Land.
I had a chance to ride in a golf cart, the site that they're trying to connect.
Yeah.
I was in a golf cart.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you. That completes District 3. Commissioner Knight.
All right, we'll start with finance. Ms. Dixon.
Right here.
Oh.
Good morning, Commissioners. Item number 1, we have our unusual demand report. Item number 2, 3, 4 are our normal purchasing agenda, purchasing exception report, and encumbrance report for the weeks of May 27th through June 2nd and June 3rd through June 9th. Item number 5 is our PACA partnership with Florence City Schools. That's the revenue generator. Item 6 is our PACA partnership with the City of Trussville. Item 7 is our debt manager license fee for an annual subscription. Under budget.
Items 1 through 7.
Have a motion? Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Under our budget management office, we have our multiple staff development, our individual staff development, and our informational items.
Move on.
Have a motion?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Item 2, under our budget agenda, we have item number 1. We received a $530,000 reimbursement from ADEM for the Timber Ridge Fire Remediation Project in Forestdale.
Have a motion?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
I have a quick question.
Quick question? Item
On these, like with the coroner and the shifting of the funds, will we, when we do the budget, will we have actually what the budget was for 21 versus what his requests are? Will it have this amendment on it, or it will be the original requested amount as of what we approved on the last budget?
What budget are we?
All the amendments that flow through the commission will show.
Will show?
Yeah.
So we won't see what the original was unless we go back and look.
for original budget that we show as well, but then
It
we
would-
also show amended.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Speaking of budgets, Ms. Dixon, do you have anything
Well,
else?
did we do 2 and 3 as well? Because I only talked about the number 1.
Oh, I thought we moved 1 through 3, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. We do, Commissioner, thank you. That was so fast, I'm used to that. I've asked Lena Wormley, Marilyn Shepherd, and Stephanie Lowe to join us today. We received notification this week that the Budget Management Office was awarded the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award from the Government Finance Association for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2020. This award is the highest form of recognition in governmental budgeting.
Congratulations.
And this is the second year that they've been able to do this, so they are knocking it out of the park, and they
Stand up,
continue
guys.
to provide great
should be
service to the
standing up
county.
for them.
So. Thank you all for.
Thank you very much.
That's the proper editing.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I told him we should have been standing up for you all. That would have been the proper editing.
We would have, but Commissioner Tyson is injured, so we couldn't get that to you.
That's all right. She can raise her hand, so we good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. All right. Board of Equalization, CoStar Realty information.
Yes, this is an MLS type listing for commercial properties, and we use those sales comparisons to determine the value on commercial properties.
Move the item.
Second.
All right, and what is this for? This is a payment of $34,627, is that correct?
Yes.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. Barry Stevenson, precinct location change, Board of Registrars.
Hey, good morning, everyone. One more change. I hope this is the last one for a while. And I do want to thank Commissioner Scales for her involvement in finding this. This is really just moving from Our Lady of Lourdes 1 block south to Huffman Baptist. Our Lady of Lourdes has a big conflict, so we're not allowed to be there anymore, but Huffman opened their doors. We're very thankful for that. So we're moving Our Lady of Lourdes to Huffman Baptist.
You know, we had that, almost had that issue before with Lords, and it just kind of.
They have signed a longer contract with, it's a really good thing for the community. Cornerstone Church is taking over almost the whole facility. So from an educational standpoint, the mission of Cornerstone, they're doing great things in that area. So they've taken over the entire gym and all the classrooms. So if they've, since November, we're able to have the presidential, they've entered into a longer term contract. So that precludes OLL anymore, but now we're at Huffman Baptist, and they have a very nice gym facility there with nice flat parking. So, seeing it's just 1 block south.
Right. Have a motion?
So moved.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I have a couple of items for, one item for the district attorney's office, trying to avoid this project grant, amount of $5,000. Have a motion?
Second.
So moved. Second.
Favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Then we have general services.
Yes, sir. I have 5 contracts. The first one is Brocco, 2121 building sealant project for phase 3.
Huh? 2121 building?
Yes, sir.
What does the ceiling do? They're gonna,
It's a sealant for the building envelope for the exterior of the building.
will that prevent some of the moisture issues?
Yes, sir. That will correct the moisture coming in at the fin cracks.
Because you know, that building with all those little balconies and stuff, it's like it just collects water, right?
Right. That's a continuous slab, so the water comes in right there at that edge.
Will this help that too?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, that's the intent. Item 2 is the animal control architectural agreement. Item 3 is Pool and Company architectural agreement for code compliance. Item 4 is the parking equipment service agreement, and item 5 is Murray Building is the Phase 2 Old Bessemer Courthouse elevator rehab project.
Move items 1 through 5.
Have a motion?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Human Resources?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is an amendment to the employment contract by and between Jefferson County Commission and the Youth Detention Director.
Move item. Second.
Have a motion and a second. And who is this on the remote speaking with us today?
This is Romissa Walton.
Good morning. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. Tax collector, we have an insolvent report for the reporting of the insolvent allowances.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I have a community grant.
Move it.
Chalkwell Henry.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I have a couple of items. The budget revenue forecast has been distributed. I sent that out yesterday in an email. I've got before you commission office budget first draft. So take a look at that and get back to me. And we've had multiple requests coming in for funding from various nonprofits. So we're going to have to decide, number one, how we're going to handle that, if we're going to handle that by district or comparatively. You know, we went through this a couple of years ago, and that we're not going to put some of these items like we did in the public service funding in our budget, other than what we're going to have some tornado shelter money and demolition. But the other things, we have our non-commission support items that we usually do, like the co-op, Crime Stoppers, et cetera. Those will be in the commission support grants. But we're getting a lot of requests, and I think we got enough today. We'll have to, we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna deal with that, what our policy's gonna be, and we need to collectively kind of decide how to handle that, so.
And since you brought the demolition money, I would like for us to see how we can go about accessing that to somehow municipality.
That's something that we need to go back and look at that and reflect on it. There's 2 or 3 different ways we can do that, and I'd like to, all of them, when we do, you have a great need for demolition. And we all are aware and understand that. So it may be that we put some in district designated for infrastructure and demolition, things like that I think would probably benefit you, and it would be up to your discretion to be able to use that within your district. And I've got some too. Steve, you don't have many.
No.
So if those monies, it would be used in some other means, of course, perhaps from Red Mountain Park or something.
Russia says yes.
I thought all of them are not noted. We agree with that. So I'm just saying, because we're getting a lot of requests. The Birmingham Bowl's reaching out. I'm sure we'll have the class reaching out. The UAB team. I mean, just all of these, and there's. We just have to decide what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, because I don't want it saying, well, I wouldn't do it, so we can't do it. So we need to collectively decide how we're going to do that. In my report.
I appreciate everyone here.
Mr. President,
Yes, ma'am.
while we're here, I just wanted to make everyone aware that Bishop Philip Wright at Cathedral of the Cross, he's done a lot of work with Commissioner Knight and I. He passed this morning. And so just kind of want to let everyone know, during the pandemic, their church was very helpful in COVID testing, vaccinations, and being a distribution site. And he was a good friend to me, so just wanted to make sure everyone knew that this morning.
And keep them in our prayers. And also that you know, that thing that happened this weekend on I-65 with all those young children, 8 of them from that home, 4 through 17. And these kids were in that home not because they were bad kids, but they had dealt a pretty low hand in the thing of life, and then for that to happen to them. So keep them in prayer too. That was just, that's unimaginable.
Do appreciate that, and everyone. That being said, we're adjourned.
That should have been passed down on the trail.